Hello and welcome to another episode of Wonders and Blunders. Before we get into today's episode, I'm going to thank our wonderful patrons who are keeping the wheels on this old caravan so we can all take this journey together. Skylar Flowers, Rylan Command, Chris Ice, Dylan Pilgrim, and Hudson Miles. Thank you. Christopher Dunn, Ian Ford, Gullatice, Matthew Smets, and Mary Rain. You the best. Michael Polad, Jason Campbell, Michelle White, Noreen Elizabeth, and Robert Andrews. Thank you so much. And David Forsey, Cheryl N., Chelsea Dabb, and Shell Scott. Words are not enough to show our thanks, but I don't know how to write music, so they'll have to do for now. And with that, on to this week's episode. So you all are making your way into the
pipe.
Into the pipe.
The big-ass ash pipe.
We do not know if it's the night market.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We're on an adventure.
We have illegally busted into an underground something.
But you do, as you're like making your way through this pipe, slowly you do start to hear over the blustering sounds of machinery pushing hot air around. You start to hear the sounds of a market. Your eyes now are just like coated in ash. Like every time you open your mouth to speak, there's just ash flying into it. You are like head to toe completely coated. But through the grates now, you can see that outside there are more stalls and just hundreds and hundreds of people walking around. The energy is completely different than it was above, like electric energy. As you start to hear people like arguing, I think there's like a big clang against the side of the pipe, and a dagger comes through as you see two people like fighting as they roll past the grate on the outside.
Oh, well, it looks like we have found the right place.
That might be the fighting pits.
Well, I suppose we should probably blend in a little bit.
Is everyone else
Covered in ash. Yeah.
Yeah, out there, like you literally can't tell. You're getting so much ash blown into your eyes. Like you can make a perception check with disadvantage, but in here you're like yelling over the sound of the market and all the machinery and just getting blasted in the face.
We're in a pipe next to the market.
Next to the market, yeah.
Right.
So this was not the door. You're saying this wasn't the door?
This was not the door, no. But it is a pipe next to the market.
I think once we just like find a grate that we can open, Bree just like sticks her claws in and starts peeling it back. Or attempting to, at least.
Would I be able, with stone shape, would we be able to make an opening in this, or is it metal?
It is metal.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of Mox Thorain, like the piping is metal.
I mean, does metal count as earthbending?
I guess just keep going down the pipe until we find there's got to be an exit eventually, right? Like, I mean, the only entrance to the pipe is not in the it's not in the hole. So
The other way might be the incinerator.
Yeah.
We can just open grates. Put it back after.
Well, there's a hole where this dagger came through. I mean, if a dagger came through, it can't be the strongest pipe.
I don't know if I want to punch a hole in this pipe and just like that's not the best way to enter this market.
Right into the fighting pits?
Yeah, just blast ash right inside, just flush everyone out.
Where we've rolled in, just blasting ash.
Yeah.
So these are like small grates we're walking alongside of.
No, like they're pretty big.
Yeah, just
Okay,
peel it open.
Then peel it open.
Yeah, okay. So make a strength check. Or just make an attack.
Pretty good. That's a 12 plus whatever my attack is.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
18?
Yeah. So are you just doing this with like your claws? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think, I have my natural claw attack and stuff, so
Yeah.
I think just literally sinking the claws in to like break the metal seal, punch her through maybe a screw or something, and then just rip it open so that we can step through and then like crudely bend it back, even though like it's very obvious that it's broken, but
yeah. So I think what happens is like those two who are fighting, one of them gets like pushed up against the grate, and then on either side of his head, just these huge claws come out through the grate and just start tearing it away. Everybody starts to scream as the spell is broken, and ash just starts bursting into the room.
Magic, right? I never think about that one.
And you are like kind of propelled into the room as the ash just pushes its way through. Bree, you bend it back up enough that it's just this like whistling, spurting rectangle in the pipe. But as people run over to investigate, everyone here is coated in ash now. They're just like, what's going on? What's happening?
Oh, it's so weird.
Slip into the crowd and disappear. Yeah. Slip into the crowd and disappear.
Oh,
the
yeah. If we
answer.
can just slip into the crowd and disappear, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Bree. It's so crazy weird. And then, like, Star's hand pulls her into the.
Yeah, you turn around and Star is just gone. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and like people are yelling like, "There's something coming through the grates! It's a monster!" Like they're like screaming, and yeah, so people like crossbows out, swords out, like they're running in ready to kill something. So the three of you can make stealth checks with advantage if you like, unless you want to stay and explain it.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Thank God for advantage. That's not a crit fail.
18.
14.
14.
Yeah, so 31 all day.
18.
You like make your way like into the crowd. There are people definitely like peeling ash out of their eyes and kind of like a couple of them are looking up at Bree. But I think Star with the 31, you're able to sort of bump Bree up above the 15 necessary to get out of there.
Yeah,
as
maybe
a
Star
huge
just says to
blizzard.
Bree hood down or hood up.
Yeah.
Like, one or the other.
Just like, hood up, follow me, and then Star just like, you just see Star like sort of like effortlessly flow through the crowd, like just like, but like kind of parting a path and.
But never touching anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Just yeah,
dancing through people like
just like
leaves in the wind.
totally smoothly moving through, and then entering into a crowd of people, and then just like walking normally.
You're walking through all these people, and then Bree is just like thump, thump, thump,
Yeah.
thump, thump.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Ben
excuse
is
me,
just
pardon
in
me.
Bree's wake with like a hand on her lower back, just like.
And yeah, as you're making your way in, you hear somebody scream, "It must have gone invisible! Get the lanterns! Get the lanterns!" As the guards continue looking for whatever monster tore its way in here and disappeared. So looking around in here, you see more tents, but a lot of like permanent shops. This place is set up. There is like a fountain in the square. There are people like sitting around it. It's surprisingly nice for how dangerous you were told that it is. But you can see everybody down here is armed to the teeth, which you don't really see in the rest of Mox Thorain. And a lot of them are sort of keeping their identities secret with like hoods and handkerchiefs, like big goggles. And just a few of the things that you see, like as they're making their way around, you see one of like a person with a wagon with a like crate that is just like shaking and feathers are coming out, and at one point like a huge scorpion tail like sticks out the back and starts just trying to like stab the person in the front as they just keep it just far enough away from them as they wheel it away. You see somebody walk out of a store kind of like happily chuckling and like tucking gold back in their purse as they have this little vial in their hand, and then it just starts violently shaking and explodes and just throws them across the courtyard and like through the window of another shop, where immediately
Big trail
a
of
fight
colorful
breaks
smoke.
out and he gets thrown back out.
Right across the mariachi band in the middle.
I think Ben would be like kind of dusting some of
Yeah.
the soot off his clothes, and then he just kind of like spits out some ash and is like wiping his eyes, but he's got like a kind of a grin on his face.
Yeah.
Like the corners of his beak are are lifting up, but then he kind of looks back and he says to you guys, he says, "Did you hear what those guards said? They thought we went invisible, and they said get the lanterns. So maybe they must have a way to detect any invisible things. So we should remember that."
Hey, it's helpful to know. It's easier to hide in plain sight, I think, though. But maybe some of these would help. And I go to the stall that has all these goggles that everybody is wearing. These Mad Max style welding goggles. And I just snap them on all of our faces. Brush away like the ash covering the lenses.
Yeah,
I think it's two. You see how much like of Ben's head is now feather by like
how much it
deep
compresses.
the belt goes in, and now he's got like this like really teased kind of Tina Turner sort of like feather
Poofed
situation
top, yeah.
happening off the top.
And now nobody will recognize us.
Yeah, so you snap the first two on, and the third time your arm comes up, it comes up with a dwarf holding onto it. And he's just glaring you in the face. He's like, those aren't free.
Oh, well, I was making sure they fit.
Well, do they?
I think Ben's eyes are like huge, even bigger, crazy big in the goggles, like through a magnifying glass.
Each eyeball is pressed up against the goggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, when you're wearing these goggles, oh man, this only affects Bree, really. But Bree, suddenly the shadows are not so shadowy anymore, and they give you dark vision.
Oh my god. Oh, this is... It's like all other lizard folk have. I have only heard the legends of this. How much are these goggles? They are very nice.
400 gold.
Yeah, Bree. Do they need attunement? I guess not.
They don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, Bree slaps down 400 gold.
Wow.
I am solving the dark vision problem. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
This has been plaguing me since day one.
Star is just like,
Ben and Star are just lifting theirs up and off and like,
I think
staring at
Are
shadows.
you sure that he's? Are you sure that he's not just? Hey, you don't need to. Yeah, and then it's like, whatever.
When he sees you like trying them on by taking them on and off, he like every time you put them on, he's like, "Whoa, good, looking good," and then you take them off, he's like, "Yeah," and then you put them on, he's like, "Whoa, looking sexy there, whoa."
Not for me.
Do you have any non-magical ones that aren't 400 gold, like just regular ones? I do like the look. And Ben is like, there's like a mirror covered in ash that you have to wipe off.
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, I guess I could pop the lenses out."
I would like if they could keep the ash out of my eyes.
Oh, I don't know. Go to Sunglass Hut. That's topside stuff.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. This place is
What
cool.
else does this guy sell?
This guy just sells night vision goggles.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
He's got
They're
a
very,
corner.
like,
I only
specialty.
wanted these as a joke gag, and now I'm 100% like, oh, this is an item I needed, and I didn't even know.
Is this in one corner of the market? Because he's got the market cornered, right?
Yeah, it's a dark corner of the market.
Not anymore.
Yeah. It's actually a terrible placement because people need the goggles to see the goggles.
That's what I was going to say.
Like,
Shouldn't it be in the bright corner of the market? Let's keep wandering around.
Hey, this place is not
This
so
place
bad.
seems pretty lively. Like as like another like tumbling bodies of like 3 people in a fist fight roll by.
yeah.
I don't know how to say this in character, but Mike, where would I get a ring of +2 wisdom? I don't know how to. Hey, excuse me, do you have anything that'll kind of make you have some more street smarts?
Street smarts.
Do you think
I'll
something?
say for items like that like probably aren't too hard to find. I'll let you buy them like on like downtime stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like you can just say like if you have an item like that doesn't need some grand quest to like go get, then just like when you're on downtime, you'll have loads of time to just pick out an item and subtract the money. And
Right. So the night market is for illegally sort of sourced goods and street meat.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of looking around, I think maybe like following the smell of food, you end up outside this big jazz club with these like kind of like neon signs on the outside, and you can hear like jazz just like blasting out from like through these 2 swinging saloon doors as a bunch of like happy sort of drunk people push their way outside, and you can see that this place is called the Bag of Rocks, and it has a picture of scales with gold on one side and then a big bag on the other side that is weighing the coins down.
Okay. I'm gonna Star's like, yeah, it's pretty good, huh? And like he's gonna step inside.
Hey, I like the music. It is, making me feel inside.
Yeah, and like a very different clientele from what is outside. Like a lot of people in here are wearing like really nice suits, like they're all sort of dressed to the nines. A lot of like very fashionable garb in here.
Oh, we're wearing suit. We're wearing suit.
Yeah.
Suit.
You can see that they've got like a wizard lighting tech who's sort of like really kind of bored, like sitting over in the corner, just bobbing his head to the music with like a drink next to him. And every once in a while, he just like flicks his hand, and all of these like dancing lights that are going around the room all change color and start swirling around someone who's really tearing it up on the dance floor. And I think going inside, what are your passive perceptions like?
13.
15.
17.
17? 15 and 17 are actually good enough for this. I don't know how much it would mean to Bree. Well, no, it would, because sitting up along like a balcony, looking down at the band, and kind of half listening to someone who's just talking their ear off, but more looking down at you three now, there is a lizard folk. Not your type, Bree, a more gangly, skinky lizard folk.
Okay.
And they have jet black scales and just these like piercing orange eyes, and they are wearing like a very tight leather suit.
Huh.
And they're just kind of like leaning idly and eyeing you over as you come in.
It's very confusing. It's such a fancy place, but people here are clearly malnourished.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, Bree?
Hey, there is one of my kind up there. Or similar looking.
Yeah, there's all kinds
Yeah.
of folk in Mox Thorain. You get anything here.
They're watching us.
Well, I think many people seem to be watching us. We are leaving big trail of dirt behind.
It's not our fault. Someone broke the grate.
Hey, it's true. It's terrible that someone would vandalize city so badly. It's a real shame.
Horrific timing for our arrival.
Well,
I'm gonna get a drink. Like, just
I'm
like,
going to get the meat.
So right at the door, you do get stopped as you start to like step farther in by a couple of, what are they called? Snake people.
Yuan tea.
Yeah,
Yuan tea. Yeah, there's 2 Yuan tea.
I could go for a tea.
Hey.
Hey, a cup. You want tea? Yes, boy, give me a cup.
Well,
no.
Benjamin, it's very racist joke to be making. We've heard that one a million times before. Even I know this.
But they look at you and they just say, no steal. Check the weapons at the door.
We won't steal anything. Oh, our weapons.
I do not know that this is made of steel.
It's just an expression, sorry. No weapons.
Oh.
Okay.
I am not allowed to enter?
Not with the weapons.
you have to check your axe at the door, Bree.
Bree just starts like looking at her hands and her like tail comes up and she's like,
Not- Yeah, I think
okay,
Ben
how
like
do
puts
I-
a hand on her wrist.
Where's
like
where's
lowers, like,
the weapon check? Where do we store them?
And they kind of just like point over to the left, and you look, and there's like a lineup of people, and behind them there's just a huge room filled with weapons.
Okay.
As you see like a person laying down like a huge musket basically on the desk as they hand it over, and they took it in and get a ticket.
Okay.
uh,
Go line up.
Yeah.
yeah.
And pretty quickly, are you going to actually check everything, or?
I'm gonna check my short sword. I'm gonna keep my dagger, but I'm gonna check everything else. Like,
Okay.
I'm imagining the dagger's in a relatively hidden spot.
Yeah. Just do like a stealth.
You can just poof it back to your hand anyway, can't you?
It's true. But someone might notice that.
It does
true,
go
true.
like
Yeah.
fly across the room. Just do like a stealth check. Okay. If you're gonna hide anything away, if not, they'll just give you tickets.
15, which is pretty low for me.
15, yeah. Yeah, and you turn to go, and you feel just a hand on your hand, and the dwarf woman who's like standing back there is just like, "It's okay. You just leave it all. You'll be safe here."
Yeah, and Star just like whistles, and just like the dagger flies up to his hand and hands it over to her.
And she says, "It's actually more dangerous to have one if you're caught. So I'm doing you a favor." And yeah, she gives you a ticket.
Yeah, thank you, madam.
yeah, and Ben sidles up behind Star and just like slaps the Mesa Salune down and one of Star's daggers, and puts those down. And he's like, just so careful with this. I think it was a gift from a goddess. So just, thank you.
Impressive. Very good. And which goddess gave that to you?
Selune.
Wow. She's one of the big ones, hey?
That's what they tell me. But she
Cool.
doesn't give me my powers. But she might be watching.
Oh, she might. So you should be good and eat all your vegetables.
I tried, but I didn't know what, like, where can I get just vegetables around here?
And she is like enamored. She is absolutely like she is in love with Ben.
Yeah, I think Bree eventually just kind of leans over and goes to put down the axe and just kind of looks at the axe and is like, are you okay with me leaving you?
And you feel like there is like a static cling to your hand.
Right. I will get you back. He's not the problem. I will just leave you with nice dwarf lady for an hour.
And she kind of like glances up from Ben after telling him her favorite vegetable stand and a nice one that has some sweets next door if Lizard Daddy will allow. But she looks over and says, "Oh, is that a talking one?"
Hey, he's not talk so much as feel, but
Okay. We got a little, and she like goes over and there's like a little playpen basically, and there's a couple of like swords flying around inside of it, and like sword fighting with each other.
see, we're like friends. Do not feel so bad. I will be back in no time.
Yeah, and that static cling is still strong, but you can leave
Put it down. It kind of zoops back up. Put it down.
And she grabs it. She's like, "Okay, come on, big fella," and then like brings it over to the, and you can see it just like flops onto the ground, but it is in the playpen.
And I guess I take like my beach glass dagger out and like pulls around the pouch and just like empties a bunch of blowgun ammunition on the table as well.
Oh, actually, what am I saying? She can't lift it.
Oh yeah, true.
Nothing. No one can. This is like a Mjolnir situation.
Right.
Like you can only lift it because it lets you. So you lay it down, and she just can't move it off the desk.
He's safe here?
Seems like it.
Maybe I just kind of like put it over the like edge of the counter.
Yeah.
I will come get it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
And I guess like Bree walks off without getting a ticket.
I think,
I don't know if either of us noticed that, but
No, I think Ben would just be like, I forgot she can, like, her and that thing can talk to each other. It's so cool. And, like, just, like, kind of follows after Bree. What are we doing? What are we doing here? As he says to Star as he's, like, walking after Bree.
having fun, Ben. Come on, let's go.
We are looking for food, Benjamin.
Yeah. So the whole like first floor is basically a big bar with the band and like a dance floor. But there seem to be more tables upstairs where that lizard folk was sort of looking down at you.
Well, wouldn't turn down an invitation to go upstairs where there are empty tables.
Yeah. I mean, I think we would probably find a table and try to order drink and food.
Yeah. So like making your way upstairs, I think you have to like wait a second. So a bunch of people get up to go dance at the same time, and you can kind of swoop in and steal their table. And someone comes up and takes your order pretty quick.
Cool. I order a glass of wine and their finest spiced meat.
Ooh.
I just ordered their regular meat.
I think Ben is kind of, like, nervously, like, his head is bopping around a little bit, and he's, like, kind of keeps looking at Star, and then he's like, I'll have the same thing he had, and, like, gestures at Star and nods too many times at the waitstaff.
Yeah, and it's this just drow woman who's just like, "Oh yeah, sure thing, sweetie," and then makes her way off.
Yeah, Ben gives you that look like he just got away with something, like eyebrows up.
And now we're gonna eat Ben there. So this place is fun.
Oh yeah, I just everything shows up, and it is like, this is the stuff that you really look for. This is one of those spots that is like, oh, not everyone can come here. The food is actually really good. Stuff is like pretty well priced for how fun the like atmosphere of it is. And I think like as you're sort of digging in, you hear, come on, don't nickel and dime me on this. I mean, we got a real deal here. Who knows what this thing does, you know? What would you do with everlasting? So what, you can't stand up, you'll live forever.
I knew he was gonna be here.
I also had a feeling.
Ben jumps up, like pushes up, and like is like, are we in like a booth kind of situation?
Yeah,
or?
I'd say like a circular booth that's just facing towards.
Yeah,
the
Ben
stage.
Ben pops up and is like just like looking around, like
You're
like an
knock
excited
the table.
puppy.
Your drink spills a little bit on you, and you start smelling like alcohol.
And you see Yuri standing on a chair, like leaning over the table with he has like a big wagon with the big cursed chair on it that he seems to have been dragging around behind him, and he's gesturing at that lizard folk.
Oh.
Uncle Yuri's here doing business. So cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty busy. I don't know if I want to interrupt him, to be honest.
We can watch and wait till he's done and let him know.
We have to go through all this effort to find this place, and Yuri is just hanging out here, eating all good foods.
Yeah, he's the
No,
man with the
Uncle
connections, apparently.
Yeah, Yuri, you know Yuri. This is his place, like his city. He's the coolest guy here. He told us.
Is he, like, facing us?
And when you look back, you see he's like, oh, please, please buy it. Oh, it's going to be so hard to sell, please. You're my last stop. Oh, come on. I don't want to. I've been wheeling it around. I'm so tired. It's so heavy.
Okay, on second thought, maybe he could use some help. And Star's gonna sidle out and walk over.
Yeah, Ben just has like a disappointed look on his face. Like, the dawning, the death of your idols, hey?
Bree, maybe you could stay here. And then,
No, like Bree gets up and like grabs this like big leg of animal off the table and just like walks over, enjoying the show while she's eating.
Yeah, I think Ben rips a big tear off the leg of roast beast and just like downs it like an owl, you know, like and then like chases after you.
And making your way over, you see this lizard folk who is barely paying attention to Yuri now completely stops paying attention as you three make your way over. And the lizard folk is looking right at you, Bree, and she just puts her hand on Yuri's face to stop him from talking, and looks at you, and in old, proper Draconic, just says, "You're from the Forgotten Lands."
Jikisi, yes. You have not eaten much. And extends the meat skewer.
And she takes it and takes a big bite and says, My kind did not inherit your strength. And then hands it back.
And kind of like shrugs, takes it, goes, I can see I have not met one of you before. Oh, where are you from, your people?
My family specifically, from the Hissing Vale.
And like looks around for like a map, realizing she does of course not have one. It's like, I do not know this place.
We'll have much time to discuss it. Please, take a seat. This dwarf is finished. And she pushes Yuri back, and his face like comes out of her hand, and he's just like, oh, it's you guys. Hi.
Hey.
How'd you get in here?
Huh? You know, we just wandered. We just went for a walk around the city.
Yuri, we are connected people, you know, just really cool city folk.
We broke into the
like-
sewer pipe.
There it is.
Hey, come on. Anyways, what's important is that we're here now, and we're finally having a good meal. How's it going?
Oh, great. Really good.
I see you've sold the chair.
And kind of looks over at the lizard folk.
Oh, hi. I'm Benjamin Craven. It's a pleasure to meet you. And Ben extends a talon.
Shooting star in the desert sky. And Star does a big flourishy dip.
And she, kind of shakes your hand, Ben, and nods at you, Star. And she says, Cassandra Bronze, you're friends with Yuri?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we in fact retrieved that chair that he's trying to sell you.
I see.
It's quite an item, you know. Makes you immortal as long as you sit on it.
Yeah. I personally don't see the point. There are certain things that are pretty hard to move, and the price that he's asking is far outside what I'm willing to do.
Really? I thought that thing would be.
Well,
Everyone would grab that.
perhaps we can have a discussion. Maybe come to a mutually agreeable term.
Yeah, aren't there maybe like old people who don't want to die, and it wouldn't be a like. I mean, if you're gonna die, might as well sit on a chair and not die. You know?
Well, what does chair even go for anyway? 13, 14 gold?
Yuri's like, oh, no, not this chair, Bree. Don't put, that's not an offer. That's not a real offer that she just made. We are doing a strict rate of 31,000 gold and not a copper under. And she says, well, this is where my problem lies. I cannot make that.
Well, I mean, perhaps there's a middle ground that we can come to.
Yeah, isn't
Do you have any kind of counter offer?
She says, I wouldn't go over 50.
Well, given the peril that we went through in order to retrieve this chair, 15 is a little bit light. Perhaps we have something else you might be interested in. And then Star looks at Bree. Like, kind of like, eyes over.
And Bree just like looks like confused at you, like, oh, I don't have anything on me.
yeah, the head tilt.
Like looks for. You can see her like go to pat her bag and be like, I have left everything at entrance.
Don't
Well.
worry about it.
Perhaps maybe then we can. 30,000, and I'll need some services from the group.
Well, now at least we've got a discussion rolling, huh?
She kind of like smiles and leans back in her chair.
Yeah, Star also smiles. But in a very, like, frigid, like, everyone else looking at him, like, you get it's a very frigid, business-like smile, not at all like you're used to seeing.
Bree also smiles as if she understands what is happening. I love that, like, we got into this and it was like, so why are we here?
Yeah, as I said, what are we doing here? Why are we here? This is great.
Yeah.
I'm having a great
What
time.
are we doing here? We're having fun, man. Like,
We're looking for food. All right,
I'm
great.
looking for food, yeah.
yeah.
All the smell pointed us here, and then there was enchanting music that, like a snake charmer, lured us inside.
It's hard for me. I wanted to make a lot of jazz jokes. Oh, this music makes me feel smarter.
Okay, and I'm going to jump back to the others there.
So cool.
This is Kalimvor's court, and that reminded me that Evan knows that Kalimvor is like one of the gods of the underworld, or like god of death, whatever.
Ah, looking at the notes.
He caught me. He caught me looking at the maps.
The maps I made available.
I swear I didn't see anything.
So yeah, Kefrin looks at you and he's like, I knew it. I knew it was you. I couldn't put my finger on it. You really had me going there.
I apologize, Kefrin. I couldn't be sure. Forgive me for doubting you, but I needed to make sure that you wouldn't immediately send word back home.
Right. No, I understand. I'm not mad. I'm actually a little bit impressed, honestly. I'll tell you, the thing that was really giving you away was this bodyguard here. This isn't a tough guy. This guy's built like a dancer.
Cara wags her tail really hard. Bumps it into the back of Rowan's legs.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, it's a relief. I was holding so much tension in my shoulders trying to pull that off. Oh, yeah, this is good.
I've been very fortunate on my travels to encounter a troop of lovely individuals. This is Rowan, and I indicate the wolf. This is Cara.
Wag.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Stoneshaker. It's a pleasure, and I'll stick up my hand to shake it.
Yeah, and he shakes yours pretty firm, and then immediately as soon as his hands are free, like undoes his buttons. He's just in like long john pajamas, and then runs over to you, Vaelin, and hugs you.
Yeah, I return it fiercely.
And he looks up into your eyes for a minute and just says, "You did give me a little bit of hope that I think might be squashed. Jundi was here,
What was he saying? What was the purpose of that meeting?
They're looking for you. They're looking for you and Famora in relation to your father. They think you did something.
I worried that running would maybe cast some suspicion, but Kefrin, I just couldn't do it any longer. I'm not cut out for it.
No, of course. I mean, not to say that you couldn't. You probably could. You know, you just gotta believe.
Oh, I like this guy. I like this guy.
Hey, this guy here. Sorry, I didn't. Rowan, yeah, thank you for helping Vaelin out. I'm glad that you felt that you could come to me. I don't know. I think I managed to convince them that I'm not involved, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. Bartok gave me a hard stare down.
Well, let me tell you, if you don't mind me stepping in, you almost had us convinced when you said you hadn't seen her. So, I think unless they're awfully sharp, and I know Vaelin's pretty sharp, so maybe the rest of the family is too. But unless they're awfully sharp, I think maybe you're okay.
But you have seen her.
He's really, really taken aback by what Rowan has told him. And he says, I haven't heard from Famora.
I look back at Rowan.
Yeah, and I'm kind of looking at him, at Kefrin. My insight, is he telling the truth now?
No, he's not.
Yeah, I'm looking at him, and I'm looking him in the eye, and I'm not like aggressive, but I'm trying to show in my face that I can see through that. And is that so? Well,
Yeah.
And I'll cross my arms and then look back, and Vaelin's like, oh, well, maybe I was mistaken.
But Kefrin, if I need to find her.
There's a lot of people who are saying that.
But when she left, I couldn't do a fraction of what I can do now. When she left, I was still just a youngster. I've learned so much on my travels here. I can help solve whatever problem she's gotten herself into.
You're still a youngster. I mean, listen, it's just the facts. You've been outside. You got outside the castle walls for a little while, and, you think you know the world, but you can't help with everything. You can't save everybody.
I don't want to save everyone. I want to save her.
I have a feeling that if she were in trouble, she'd be more than capable of helping herself.
The truth is, I need her help. And I don't know who else can help me.
What's wrong?
I need to know what has happened to my father. I need to know what's going on.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
18.
I don't know where she is, and I don't know if you did find her, if she'd be able to give you the help that you're looking for. But I know her pretty well. And if she were in town, she's an elbow rubber. She likes to meet the people who turn the gears, And
Vaelin's eyes widen at, in town.
There is a get-together. A major get-together with the families next week at the Golden Dragon. And listen, really listen. No promises that this will lead to anything. I'm just telling you. Not that I've heard from her. I need that to be very clear. I have no idea where she is. She has not contacted me. That is just where I would go if I were looking for her.
Thank you, Kefrin.
And if this brings about answers, just be careful.
I knew I could count on you.
You can. It is also very dangerous for you to be here. I don't know if Bartok is still here. if your friend here knows or thinks he knows what he thinks he knows, Bartok is sharp. Sharper than anyone I've ever met. He might have those same suspicions, and if I couldn't ease him of them, well, you know, he's a bloodhound.
Better that we know to suspect him around every corner. Is there anything I can do to repay you?
No.
If you need anything...
There's nothing to repay. I haven't done anything.
Well, yeah.
Best not to tell me. And I would also like to say, my house is yours, but if Bartok has still got me, he's going to have people watching.
It's not worth the risk. I'll keep my distance for now.
Cara would like to say into Rowan's head,
perhaps we could arrange a spot to leave a letter or something?
You know, the wise wolf here, you know, maybe some things have to be on such a down low. You know, maybe we can arrange an exchange place, you know, a letter drop, maybe. And we know then, you know, if Vaelin does need to get in touch with you, or vice versa, then we know, okay, if we can check with a certain establishment, or you know, a particular rock, or you know, Teak and I actually would use some of the swallows that lived out. But anyway, that's no good here. But you know, maybe we can figure out some kind of means of dropping notes.
Wouldn't trust a regular animal, but if you're passing through the jungle, there's some folks in there, some mercenaries who might be able to set something like that up. They don't come cheap. If it comes to it, I'll find a way to get in touch, and I'll set it up.
Thank you, Kefrin.
Of course. I'm so sorry. This can't be easy.
It'll all work out in the end. That I'm sure of.
That feels like a good scene break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to do anything else with Kefrin?
I want to hear
No,
all
I
the
think-
stories from that outer room. But,
All the rulers that he's met. I think we would maybe, do like a quick little catch up, tell some of the highlight reels of our adventure.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I think, I think he would say then, I don't have to kick you out right away. Just, you know, stay away from the windows, maybe sit right where you are now. And how many people did you talk to on the way in?
Just 2, I believe.
yeah, the two guards out front, and then the fellow who brought us in.
Right, 3.
Right. Okay. I'll check in with them. Anyway, you've been outside the castle. Tell me all about it. And kind of, sits down in the chair across from you. And, immediately, like, kicks the bar cart over towards you.
Yeah, and I finally get to have some Bastilian rye.
Yeah.
But yeah, after about an hour or so, I think that'll be as long as I'd be willing to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would get up and cast Alter Self again to look like Jundi again.
Oh,
Yeah.
Should I? Yeah, well, I guess we're going out, and then Rowan sort of stops and kind of spins, like, should I maybe? Do I need to disguise myself too? I mean, I came in like this, but I mean, I also, you know, this is how I spend time with him. So, you know, should I do something about my, or is it fine? You think? Well, I don't know. Subterfuge isn't really my thing.
You should change if you can, because I could be a different wolf next time.
Okay, yeah, the different people in, different people out. That sounds like a
I
sneaky-
will. Next time. Yes. Not if you came in like this, go out like this.
Oh,
It's
yeah, you
either
think so?
doesn't matter or is too late.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, all right. Next time. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I had something fixed, but yeah. Okay. Next time.
Yeah. And he shows you out to the door, and kind of gives you a curt nod, but you can see there's like a sparkle in his eye this time.
Yeah.
I give him a glare.
Yeah, and he kind of laughs and then turns around and goes back inside. And I think, like, Rowan, the second the door is, like, about to close, you look in and make perfect eye contact with a portrait in the, in like, the room across the one from where you were, like, next to a fireplace. And it is, oh my god, Kefrin. It's Kefrin standing next to Antibiscus.
Yeah, my eyebrows go up as the door closes in my face. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we would head back to the others, I think.
Head back to the others?
In
Okay.
stunned silence. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Wonders and Blunders. Ben was played by Mitchell Bradbury. Bree was played by Kieran Dyke. Cara was played by Kate Clark. Rowan was played by Andy Woolridge. Star was played by Robert. And Vaelin was played by Evan Walsh. The world of Fadoon was created by your Dungeon Mom, Mike Farty, and exists in the D&D 5e universe published by Wizards of the Coast. Episodes of Wonders and Blunders are edited by TV's Adam Clark. Thank you, Adam. We're an independent podcast supported by you, the listener, but we may take on the occasional ad to help cover our operating costs. If you'd like to support the show directly and monetarily, and get access to ad-free episodes and bonus content, head over to patreon.com/wonderandblunder. If you'd like to support the show, but can't spare the cash, that's totally fine. Follow us on social media at Wonder and Blunder, and be sure to rate the show 5 stars on your podcatcher of choice. Thank you for following us on this fantastic journey, and as always, keep being the best. We love you very much, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.